What's up traders, welcome to Failure to Displace, where we're going to be utilising some ICT concepts to try to ensure that every day is a payday. In this video we're going to be looking at the Silver Bullet simplified process just to see what opportunities were available for us to extract some profits from the market. Today is June the 21st, 2023, and we're going to be looking at the Silver Bullet setup in the New York session on S&P 500. Before we jump into the charts and take a look at the levels, the one thing to note here is we do have news, a red folder news event happening at the start of the Silver Bullet hour. We've got FOMC Chair Powell testifying, which could really mess the market up. So I'm not going to be looking to take any initial entries while we can kind of gauge what's happening in the market. Let's have a look at the levels on the charts. Looking at price action from yesterday, we can see that the previous day's high is not being tapped. Every session is essentially making lower highs. The London session did put in a high. We've swept that in the gap time between London and New York today and then driven lower. We've taken sell side and closed in the range again on this 15-minute. The fact that we've been unable to displace below this, so a failure to displace at the low, would give me the bias of being slightly bullish going into this after we understand what Powell's going to do and if there's any crazy reactions when he starts speaking. I've noted this intermediate high here, this buy side liquidity, which is a 15-minute swing high. Because we've been so bearish, if we are going to go for a bullish entry, this potentially could be a reversal area. We could sweep that and then literally carry on with our bearish bias. So I just want to be aware of that in case we get a trade to sweep that high. Let's jump into the 1 minute and see what happens. So as we approach this, we've got Powell just about to start speaking. I'm going to zoom this in because I have had some comments to say that people can't see what the charts look like. So this is our 10 AM candle. Price is breaking below the low already. So we're sweeping the low here. If we're going to take an entry here, we want to be looking at a 2022 mentorship model. So the draw on liquidity here has already been taken. We've taken the sell side, which means that we want a break of structure with displacement to try and go long. Our current swing high is up here. For our break of structure, if we are going to try and take a long position. Okay, so we've broken that low now, so our new swing high is this one. So we've broken the high. We have left some displacement here. We're rejecting off this fair value gap at the moment. That fair value gap's holding at the 50%, closing the fair value gap. Strong reaction here, so we've broken this high. Again, this is as Powell is speaking, so I'm very cautious about taking any trades here. A quick retracement back into this fair value gap. We've got an order block, and this is a breaker block that's created the break of structure. So this is the up closed candle before we took the low, so I would take that as a breaker. This candle is also, so the fair value gap is also in the optimal trade entry as well, so the 61866 fib level. So that would be a good one if we get a quick pullback and we don't start taking this higher liquidity. We could potentially take an entry here. Let's see what happens. Wouldn't take that higher fair value gap. Would want a retracement back into a discount. So we're not into a discount yet. We've left a bearish fair value gap there. So coming into a discount. Not tap that. So this is just horrible price action. This is kind of what you would expect to see when Powell's speaking. There's no real direction here. If you're going to take a long position, the best trades I find are when these fair value gaps get tapped pretty quickly. I don't like to see price push away like this and then start consolidating. I mean, this is not what you would class as explosive price action. So there's clearly no real bullish drive here to take out this liquidity. We're just consolidating above this, which kind of invalidates this fair value gap already for me. I don't think I'd feel comfortable with it coming down clipping that. Let's see what happens when it does reach it. I'm going to delete these because we've already noted those, so we don't need those levels on. Got another fair value gap there that was filled straight away. Equal lows on the 1 minute there. Just building liquidity slightly above the fair value gap. Equal highs, which have just been taken. I mean, this is just horrible price action. You're going to need to see a break out of this range before you start considering a trade. Either sweep the high for a pull lower or sweep the lows to go higher. So we've come into the fair value gap now. Let's just mark out our 50% level of the fair value gap. So yeah, we have tapped that on this candle. Closed straight through it now, so it's not holding price at the moment, so there's no long position there to be had. Actually rejecting from the 50% now lower, so it's potentially inverted this fair value gap. So this could be ICT has mentioned these before, inversion fair value gaps. So it could be acting as resistance now, meaning that the sell side down here, again kind of respecting the fair value gap. Yeah, pulling away now. Fair value gap there, so yeah, definitely a short trade. So we've swept the liquidity here. Our break of structure, if we're going for the 2022 mentorship, now we've taken the session low, would be here. It's not buy side, sorry, that is a break of structure. Let's remove this because that's now done with. Okay, so we have broken structure, we've left a fair value gap here. So this would be strong price action, especially compared to all of this. We can see we had impulses to go higher, consolidated, we've dropped, swept liquidity, and then price has been bought straight back up quite aggressively. There is a swing high in here, although it is internal liquidity. We've closed over that with displacement. Let's check our fib. We want to be in a discount if we're going to try and go long. So currently that would be at the 50%. Respecting this. Pulling back. Yeah, I would take this as an entry. Fed Powell has obviously been talking and market's doing whatever. We're now starting to get some movement. If this taps quickly without consolidating like this, then that would be a fair entry. So that's good. That's your 5 handles hit straight away. So that was a 5 handle stop loss, 5 handle take profit, which is the usual trading plan. I do need to check if we're going to get a 2-to-1 here because I am thinking about updating my system. So the 2-to-1 is just taking out these highs, so that's quite nice. We have left a fair value gap here, which is quite a good thing to see. Wouldn't be a second entry here because we're not in a discount. Hit that second fair value gap. So it's cleared straight through that other fair value gap. We've got the order block here. Close through that fair value gap into this order block. Oh dear. So maybe we won't get the 2-to-1. Bearish fair value gap is inside this now, look. So we're respecting this bearish fair value gap. Big strong bullish buy up now. We are outside the silver bullet hour here, so there would be no entries here. This is just letting this, the entry that we took was literally at the death of the silver bullet hour. So yeah, you wouldn't be looking to buy or get involved here. See how this runs. And that looks like 2-to-1 is eventually hit. There's the intermediate sell buy side as well. Does that eventually get ran? So we've not taken the intermediate buy side that we highlighted as of yet. Now we're up to live time. So very quick 1-to-1, so very quick 5 handles within a couple of minutes. 2-to-1 obviously took a lot longer to get there with a lot of drawdown. So that does highlight why I don't like that. You can see these consolidations, I mean, they're awful. But there was the potential to get 5 handles in there quite quickly. And then for you guys that are a bit braver than I am, you could have potentially held for 2. But FOMC, it's not really the most ideal time to be trading. Perhaps the PM session will be a better option today. Anyway, I hope that was useful, walking through the price action like that. I'll be back again tomorrow with more videos for the European session and for the New York session. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe, leave any questions down below and all that good stuff, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.